Dom's coming in. There he is.
Hey, well, welcome back. It's exciting to be here today, kicking off this new PBC on Fox series. We're really excited about it. The Barclays Center has a rich tradition for bringing the best and biggest fights to Brooklyn. And that's what they're going to do right after the first of the year. An undefeated WBA welterweight champion, Keith Thurman, returns after a lengthy injury to defend his title against the Riverside Rocky, Josesito Lopez. I want to also acknowledge and thank Brett Yormark, the Chief Executive Officer of BSE Global, for all his support, both the PBC and boxing. Josesito Lopez has a fan-friendly style, and he stepped in the ring against some of the best boxers in this generation. Dan Goosen and I had an opportunity to sign him back in 2011. We had a great ride with him, including that big win over Victor Ortiz at Staples that led into the Canelo Alvarez fight. And at this time, I'd like to introduce Josesito Lopez, the Riverside Rocky.
All right, thanks for everyone to be here. I'm excited. I'm happy to be here. I'd like to thank everyone. Thank the Barclays Center. Thank Al Heyman and the team to make this possible. I'm getting another title shot against a world-class elite fighter, an undefeated fighter, a good fighter in Keith Thurman. I'm excited for this opportunity and make the most of it. I've been here in this same position before. I don't shy away from big battles, and this is definitely one, and one that I'm definitely prepared for. And on January 26th, there's going to be a new world champ. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jose. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce one of my favorite fighters in today, and I'm real glad you're back. Keith Thurman, the WBA welterweight champion.
What's up, Brooklyn? You know, it's been a long time, baby. It's been a long time. I'm truly happy to be back, man. I'm just grateful. It's been hard for me not being in the ring, not being in the gym, waiting for the elbow to recover. Then we hop in the gym, we get a hand injury, and it's just like, you know, did I hit my pinnacle beating Danny Garcia or what, you know? And I'm just truly happy to be back. Josesito Lopez, he called me out. He wants this fight. I need a match like this. Somebody who's gonna be there. Somebody who's gonna give a good fight for the fans, and really just try to take me out. He's been ready for this fight. He looked like he was in shape a month ago when I first saw him, you know. But I feel good. We've been training really hard. We've been lifting weights, just getting back into everything, man, and it just feels tremendous. I'm truly happy to be here, to be back in Brooklyn. Next month, the 26th, you will see the return of the #1 welterweight in the division today.
You want to hold up for questions?
First off, for Jose. Jose, you fought a lot of big punchers, a lot of skilled guys, Canelo, Berto, Porter. When you look at Thurman and you see the power and the size he is as a welterweight, how do you compare him compared to those other guys that you fought? Do you feel that he possesses more skills and something different compared to those other people you fought?
Well, you can't really compare power right now until I get in that ring, but I'm sure he's just as strong as those guys and just as skilled as all the fighters that I faced. He's a world champ for a reason. He's undefeated. He's never been defeated as a pro. So you got to give him his respect for that. You know, I'm expecting easily the best fighter that I faced. So I'm prepared for the best fighter. I faced tough opposition. I'm continuing to face tough opposition. I'm ready for the best.
And Keith, how much of, is there a sense of urgency for you to remind everybody why you're called one time in this fight and the other fights?
I just want to put on a good show, showcase my skills and talent. When I box, I look like a champion, all right? The first day of sparring, coach said, you didn't lose nothing, boy. And, you know, it's in my blood. 23 years in the game, you know, over 10 years being a professional now. I mean, of course I want to make a statement. I want to make a big statement. One time wants to be one time. He wants to land that one time. And really, under my statistics, I've never gotten a knockout in the Barclays, so that pisses me off. You know? That pisses me off. Like we have some good fights. The fans come out. We put on a show. It's always electric. Yet no one's hit the mat yet at the Barclays. So I am hoping to change that come the 26th.
Keith, so assuming, let's say all goes well and you're fortunate enough to get the win against Josesito Lopez, you mentioned 2019 being the year, the get-back year. What would the best possible way in your mind be that you can close out the year, this time next year, 2019?
You know, it's just up in the air, you know. I look at the sport of boxing like a chessboard. You can see where the pieces are. You can know where your next move is, but you still gotta wait for your opponent's next move. And in the sport of boxing, it's not just one-on-one. I make my move by winning on the 26th. Then all the other fighters gotta make their moves by winning their fights on their scheduled dates, right? See, that's why it's so hard to play Miss Cleo. I don't know why you always want to predict the future.
Well, who do you like? Who do you like?
The weatherman tell me that it's gonna rain tomorrow and then it's sunny. I want to hear that, okay? You know what I'm saying? Watch this fight. This is the fight to watch. And then watch the other fights, and then let's see who starts talking, who starts calling who out, who really wants it, and what contracts I get presented with. That's what matters, you know? But like I said, part of the mission in the back of my mind is to get the strap back, you know? So you can guarantee that that will most likely happen. I can't say that it will happen, but you know, it's more 60-40 than anything else. We're leaning towards getting that back so Keith one-time Thurman can be 2 times again.
And just to be clear, the belt that you want back would be the winner of the Ugas and Porter fight?
What belt did I own, son?
I thought you said somebody owed you a belt.
Yeah, it's my belt, you know? Recently I heard Sean Porter making a statement that it's unfair that I'm the mandatory. It's unfair that you call yourself champion without beating me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to hear that. I got business, and it doesn't matter who has that belt. I told Sean Porter in Fox Studios, don't lose, because you'll get a rematch with Danny. You know what I'm saying? You can get that Danny rematch, you lose, I'm going after my belt. I'm going after Ugas. I want my belt, you know? So that's why it's not about who I want to fight. It's about being active this year, reestablishing myself, and then getting bigger and better fights. The Sean Porter fight was Showtime's fight of the year. It's one of the best fights that has been put on here at the Barclays Center. You know, I believe that even if Ugas was to win, that's a new opponent, that's a new face, that's a new fight style. That's gonna bring up new comments from all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? So that's why your boy one time goes with the flow, man.
Thank you.
Keith, you keep on talking about the siege fight back, which is, it'll be a tough fight with Sean Porter. But how come you're not mentioning the IBF held by Arrow or the WBO held by Terrence?
Because you're saying after what I want to do right now.
Yeah, but you're only mentioning the WBC though. Like, why
right now. There's today, and then there's tomorrow, then there's a week from tomorrow, and a month from that, and 6 months from that. Bro, it takes time. It takes time. This isn't the amateurs. We're not gonna fight 5 fights in a row in 1 week, right? So get my belt back. So I'll just elaborate for you. When I say
after that, we're going after bigger and better things. That's the IBF and the WBO, okay? But what I care about first and foremost, once we get to that position, is wins the fight, what's the fight date, you know, camp, this and that, how long do I have to wait, you know, Spence is fighting sometime this year, you know, and then, you know, you got to see the outcome of that. You never know if, depending on the outcome of certain fights, if people want to do immediate rematches. So I just don't overstretch myself in my vocabulary. You ask me what I'm trying to do or what I want to do. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, okay? All right, thank you. One more question, Keith? Okay.
Keith, two more? Two more.
Keith, if the fight goes the way, when ideally would you come back? Like what month would ideally would you come back to the ring?
You said if the fight doesn't go 12 rounds.
No, if it does.
Oh, if it does go 12 rounds. If the fight does go 12 rounds, you know what I mean? That's the beauty of fighting in January, is that we can still kind of squeeze 3 fights in this year if we feel like we want to push ourselves like that. And I'm going to have to consolidate my team. I'm going to have to assess my health, but we could do 3 fights. So, January, February, March, April, May, June, maybe. After a 12-round fight, I can come back in June. July, August, September, October, November, baby. So you see what I just did right there. So after this fight, if I want to stay active, if I want to stay truly active, you might, quote, don't quote, you might, quote, don't quote, see your boy fight every 5 months. That is beauty to me.
5 times. Let's start calling you 5 times.
Yeah, every 5 months, you know what I mean? You're gonna see your boy Keith one-time Thurman. I think that's an excellent way to come back into the sport of boxing this year, to help remind everybody to work with the beautiful network that we have now, Fox, and to further build up the big fights, okay? The real thing about why I don't go from here to there is because you don't know what it feels like to have 2 titles, okay? It's fucking awesome, all right? All right? It's great. All right? So, I want those 2 titles, and then when we fight Errol Spence, if we fight Bud Crawford, if they lose and we fight whoever beats them, Mikey Garcia, whomever, okay? It's Keith Thurman who's the unified champion, who's stepping up with all the belts, you know? I believe I'm the #1 welterweight, and I want to hold that position. What separated me from the rest of my competition was unifying. So I want to reestablish that I am the only unified champion, and then bigger and better things.
Right here.
Keith, we've all talked about the physicality, and I've lifted weights, and I'm prime, and I'm ready, and I'm coming here to get my title back, and this, that, and the other. I didn't hear anybody mention the psychological situation. A fighter's worst enemy is the rust. You can spar, you can run miles and miles of pump iron and all that, but it's getting back to that jungle where you got live audiences ready to eat you alive, and you're wondering, am I really back? Now you can chip in Josesito, because this psychologically could be an advantage for you. So what do you feel about what I'm just finished saying?
But who am I worried about? I'm worried about my rust. I'm worried about the fans cheering outside of the ring. What am I worried about? Because if I'm worried about me, I never worry about me. When it's time to go to work, I go to work. You know, after you throw 1,000 jabs and 1,000 right hands and 1,000 left hooks, I mean, how many 1,000 more do you need to throw? Do you feel like that feels right, you know? And I'm pretty sure that I'm going to throw thousands upon thousands before I hit him with one.
Josesito?
Well, I've been in this situation before, and I've been off from a layoff also. There is some ring rust, you know, especially being away from the ring, rehabbing. Mentally, you're not all there. You know, you're not quite satisfied or content with throwing the same punches. You know, you have a thought in the back of your mind if you should really throw it full power, or you're hesitant at times to throw.
No,
I've been there before.
No.
I'm not saying he's gonna be in that situation, but I've been there before. I know the feeling, and whether it affects you or not, it is a thought in the back of your head. So we'll see January 26th.
Thank you. Please sit down, please, so the back can get, we have TVs in the back, please. We're gonna give him face to face. We're gonna get him face to face. Face to face. Good. Thanks, everybody. Yep.
Damn, I need a drink, boy. I just got in.